welcome back into our alert desk here, folks. I'm about to put us on ENN Plus. That should take care of it, as it should swap us on over there in just a moment. There it is. You are watching Erie News Now. We are live here on Facebook. We are live on ENN Plus. We have results now on election night. So let's start seeing what we have. Here we have erienewsnow.com/election, where you can see all of the latest results. We start things off looking at that state Supreme Court race that we told you about earlier. Kevin Brobson leads the way in that. We'll pull that up for you. He leads the way right now with 21,906 votes. But again, we only have 3% of precincts reporting, so there's not a whole ton there. He's the party-endorsed candidate. He seems very likely to win the party nomination on that front. Jill Beck, she is leading the way on the Superior Court side for the Democrats. Only Megan Sullivan is running for the Republicans. In Commonwealth Court, we see Amanda Green Hawkins and Judge David Spurgeon both doing well. There are 2 seats open on Commonwealth Court, so both of those 2 could move on here after the party primaries, as could, in fact, they definitely will, Stacey Wallace and Drew Crompton. Both are going to move on the Republican side. They'll all be on the ballot. These 2 definitely will be on the ballot in November. Here's where we stand on those emergency declarations, limiting the governor's ability to declare emergencies and the legislature's ability to put an end to them, more or less, for lack of a better way to put it. Again, we see right now overwhelmingly voters saying no, they don't want the legislature to have the power to limit and end emergency declarations, but we have basically no votes in. We have 7% of the vote. Nothing to sweat about. Regardless of which side of that issue you stand on, there's no reason to get excited one way or the other because we just don't have enough information in yet. Same thing on the Equal Rights Amendment and the Fire Department and EMS loans referendum. Nowhere close to enough information to really know. We got 7% of precincts in, so that is just nowhere close to enough information. So let's also try to, actually, it's gorgeous right now in downtown Erie, so we're going to pop that up for you. And I'm going to try to pull up some more information for you as we start to see results coming in. Local races so far have kind of lagged behind. We don't have a ton of information on those. I know our Jamison Hicksonbaugh is down in Crawford County tonight, and they're not even counting mail-in ballots this evening, so we're not going to have official word down there just yet as to what has transpired. I can tell you that on the Erie County side of things, we still don't have any results, so it's just a waiting game. Let's see if we can pull up some of the Supreme Court stuff. Here's what we told you about before. So we take a peek at that. Again, this is for state Supreme Court, and there's nothing there to get terribly excited about. Same deal on the Emergency Declaration Amendment. So we push that to air as well. Again, 2/3 saying no, but it's way too early to know anything. So we have to bear all of this in mind, that these are super early preliminary reports. We have 8% of the vote in. Or 8% of precincts anyway in. So we just don't have enough information yet. Very much a case where patience will pay off, and we will have a much clearer, although perhaps not definite picture by the time the evening is over. That's the way this is just going to work. It's going to be kind of a slow slog through all of this. I know how appealing, right? But that's the way elections are, at least for the time being, largely because of the fact that we have widespread mail-in voting and that we don't allow ballots to be pre-canvassed ahead of time. And that puts us in a situation where we're waiting. Waiting is the name of the game, because those ballots cannot be touched until Election Day. We're not allowed to get them ready to be scanned through before then. We have to wait until now. So that's why this takes a little bit longer. There are other races we're looking at tonight. Again, we'll just take you to the city of Erie. We'll try to get these loaded up for you, but a lot of these we don't have any information on. All of these local races, we're still waiting. There's a lot of good ones out there, and we should have a lot more information on them really soon, but on the flip side, I also thought that we would have them long before now. So shows you how much I know, I suppose. Right now, we just have things on the state level, which means that we have precincts reporting that are not in our area. As we look at Supreme Court, we only have 4% of precincts reporting on those races, so that's a pretty good indicator of just how little data we have. So we have something. We are moving in the right direction tonight, but we are slogging in the right direction this evening. Slowly moving toward having a lot more information for you. So stay with us here on Erie News Now, on our Facebook page, on ENN+, because we are getting information, and at some point we're going to get a big data dump where those numbers are going to jump from 4% reporting or 8% reporting to 25, 30%, where all of a sudden the picture starts to really come into focus. We're just not at that stage yet. You know, it's funny, not long ago, just one election cycle ago, we'd have had all the information this evening. We'd have declared winners and gone home. A lot of these races are going to stretch into tomorrow. It's just the new normal with mail-in voting, and until we work out the kinks in that process and find ways to make it quicker to the point where we can have results on election night, which states do. For example, Ohio has widespread mail-in voting, but they've kind of worked out the hiccups in that process and have found ways to get results quickly. We either don't have those ways figured out yet, or we choose not to use them. Whichever it is, it takes a while in Pennsylvania, and that's just the way it's going to be until we kind of move the needle on how we go about counting and canvassing votes. In the meantime, I want to tell you about erienewsnow.com/election. This is where you can find everything you need to know regarding tonight's races, including the latest results and things you need to know about how votes are tallied, safety at the polls, although it's a little late for that, but all the information you need, we have it. erienewsnow.com/election. We use that link, by the way, for every bit of election coverage we do, so come November, when we're looking at these things again, we'll have it for you, because of course we will. Here is that homepage, erienewsnow.com/election. Again, we go to latest results, but we just don't have much yet. It's slow going. Not entirely sure how we have a quarter of precincts reporting on Supreme Court justice on the Democratic side and only 4% on the Republican side reporting. Again, maybe those Democratic ballots were counted faster than Republican ballots. No clue. It just depends on who they scan first. It's going to take a little bit of time. Here we have, Pennsylvania Superior Court judge, 24 precincts reporting, but we already know who it's going to be. It's Megan Sullivan. She's the only one running. So it's a process. It's slow going. It's tedious. That is what election night is right now. So let us know in the comments the questions you have about primary day, and we'll try to answer those. We'll try to bring back some experts to chat and try to bring you up to date with the latest information here on Erie News Now on our Facebook page. People asking, why don't we show the local races? Because we don't have any information on them, guys. That's the long and short of it is that we don't have any information. I heard somebody asking if I was yawning. Yes, I was. I was in at work at 9 this morning because the diocese dropped its information about its victim compensation fund. So I'm more than 12 hours into my workday. I did yawn a little bit. It does happen. It has been a long, long day here. There is so much going on besides just the election, and we try to cover that in so many different ways. Just get tired. Part of the ball game. Plus, waiting on results to come in like this at times makes you want to yawn. It also makes you want to pull your hair out, because why can't we get numbers, right? It's a long waiting game, but we will get numbers. We will have the information for you as soon as we possibly can. We're just waiting. We have people down at the county courthouse right now watching that process, watching those votes get tallied, and it will not be long before we have local results, I don't think. I also, though, don't want to waste your time. So what we're going to do here is just lay low for a piece, and we'll have results soon, and we'll rejoin you with those. We'll bring up a separate screen once we have them, but right now I'm looking through, and again, we just don't have any of the local races yet. Yeah, these just updated 2 minutes ago. Still no local data. All of a sudden, Erie County's data, it just comes at once. Crawford County, who is going to be late tonight before we get that data. It's just the way it generally goes down there. We'll get it eventually. We have Jameson Hicksonbaugh down there in the courthouse, so he'll have it the moment that those numbers are released. We have Kristen Allen out in Warren County. We have people everywhere. The moment there are any numbers, we will have them for you, and when we do, we'll join you right here on Facebook Live. I just don't want to take any more of your time and sit here and blab and pretend to know things I don't. We don't have data yet. We have some. We have some early results. We're seeing how things are just starting to shake out, but once we have that local data, I'll join you right back.